An alien general issued a challenge. The human student didn't even look up. The lecture hall was quiet in the way only advanced theory rooms ever were. Rows of mixed-species students hovered over tablets and holoscreens, equations drifting lazily in the air. Gravitational linguistics. Final term, nobody wanted distractions. Especially not Mara Chen. She was mid-annotation, stylus moving steadily, when the doors at the back of the hall opened. They didn't slide, they parted. A ripple of pressure passed through the room as armored figures stepped inside, tall, broad, polished in ceremonial alloys. At their center stood General Korath of the Virex Coalition, his rank sigils glowing faintly. The professor froze. Students turned. Mara kept writing. Korath surveyed the room, his voice carrying without amplification. I seek the human representative. Whispers broke out. Several students glanced toward Mara. She didn't notice or didn't care. The professor cleared his throat nervously. General, this is an academic session. I was informed, Korath said calmly, that humans train their most capable minds and bodies simultaneously. I wish to see if that claim held merit. He stepped forward once. The floor adjusted under his weight. I issue a formal challenge. The room went silent. Mara finished her sentence, tapped twice to save her notes, then finally looked up. Yes, she said. Korath's crest flared slightly. You are the human. I'm human, she replied. There are several of us. You will suffice, he said. Send anyone you choose. I wish to test human resolve. Mara blinked. Then she set her stylus down. You're interrupting a class, she said mildly, and finals week. A few students stared at her in horror. Korath tilted his head. You refuse? Mara stood, not dramatically, not fast, just stood. She pushed her chair back with her foot and stepped into the aisle. No, she said, I'm deciding the format. The general's eyes narrowed. You will not face me directly. Mara shrugged. Didn't say that. She walked to the center of the room, stopped beneath the lecture lights, and gestured to the space beside her. Challenge rules, she said. Non-destructive, no injuries, academic environment. Korath hesitated, then nodded once. Agreed. What's the test, he asked. Mara thought for a moment. Then she smiled faintly. Balance, she said. The general frowned. Explain. Mara tapped her wrist console. The room's gravity shifted, not violently, just subtly. The floor became slightly uneven in pull, directional vectors changing every few seconds. Several students grabbed their desks. Korath adjusted instantly, armor stabilizers humming. This is trivial. Good, Mara said. Then don't use assistance. His eyes flicked to her wrist. And you? She shook her head. I won't. A murmur swept the room. Korath deactivated his stabilizers. The gravity shifted again. This time it wasn't trivial. The Virex general planted his feet, muscles tensing visibly as the vectors rotated. He held, barely, adjusting with brute strength and instinct. Mara stepped forward, calm, unhurried. She didn't brace. She moved. Each shift of gravity was met with a small adjustment, a foot placed just so, a shoulder angled, breath timed perfectly. She walked a slow circle around the general as if the floor was still, as if the rules didn't apply to her the same way. You trained for this? Korath asked, strain creeping into his voice. Mara shook her head. Not exactly. The gravity changed again. Korath dropped to one knee, catching himself with a gauntleted hand. Mara stopped in front of him. You train to overcome environments, she said. We train to live in them. She reached down, not to help him up, but to tap her console. The gravity normalized instantly. Korath rose slowly, staring at her with something new in his eyes. Not anger, respect. You could have humiliated me, he said quietly. Mara picked up her stylus. That wouldn't teach you anything. She turned back toward her seat. But this might, she added. Humans don't escalate unless we have to. Most of our strength is situational. Korath inclined his head deeply. Lesson received. He turned to leave, his guards following in silence. As the doors closed, the room exhaled. Mara sat down, reopened her notes, and resumed writing. After a moment, the student beside her whispered, You just faced a coalition general. Mara didn't look up. He asked, she said, politely enough. class continued. But long after the lecture ended, the story spread across the station, not about a fight, but about a human who didn't even need to stand still to prove her point. If this touched you, show your love in whatever way feels right.